Next at 6.
The suspected Gaslamp shooter who fired on 2 women from North Carolina in town for a conference has his day in court.
Plus, WNBA star Brittany Griner pleads guilty in a Russian court as pressure mounts for the U.S. government to bring her home.
San Diego Pride is back in person this year. How law enforcement is taking part.
And a success story in North Park that you can read all about.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
A not guilty plea just in from the man police say shot 2 women who were caught in the crossfire in the Gaslamp last month. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Jesse Pagan, in tonight for Carlo Cicchetto. Jonza Watson faces attempted murder and assault charges. The women were visiting from North Carolina and are both recovering from their injuries. CBS 8's Heather Hope has Watson's day in court and how the prosecutor says this was Watson's second violent Gaslamp attack in 2 weeks.
The prosecutor in court said that Jonza Watson was in a fight with a rival gang, and in trying to fire on someone he was in confrontation with, he missed and hit 2 innocent women in town from North Carolina for the National Apartment Association conference.
For the first time, 25-year-old Jonza Watson appears in court via video conference. The judge ordered we not show his face. Watson is charged with 1 count of attempted murder and 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. His defense attorney, Stephen Klein, says he denies the charges.
Is entering a not guilty plea to the charges and allegations.
Deputy District Attorney Ted Fiorito says on Friday, June 24th, around 10:30 p.m. in the Gaslamp district at 5th and F Street, Watson got in a fight with a rival gang.
During the confrontation, the defendant pulled out a firearm from his waistband area in the hood pocket and attempted to shoot one of the other people involved in the altercation. He missed his intended target and struck 2 innocent girls who were waiting at the crosswalk.
The 2 women shot and injured are Lane Shear and Tony Earless from North Carolina. A GoFundMe campaign has raised nearly $200,000 for their medical expenses. The prosecutor says Earless was shot in the hand and then Shear was shot.
The bullet then traveled through the second victim, went through her chest, damaging her liver, spleen, and spine.
Both women are employees of a Raleigh-based student housing company and were downtown San Diego for the National Apartment Association conference. Earless was released from the hospital, but Shear is still being treated in the intensive care unit, according to their employer, Price Company. The prosecutor says Watson ran away from the scene, but 1 week later, on July 2nd, around 2:30 a.m., also on 5th in the Gaslamp, Watson allegedly attacked another victim.
During the assault, a Marine was attacked by a group of between 4 to 6 individuals, including Mr. Watson.
Police found and arrested Watson and said he had the victim's blood on his shoes and clothing from kicking the victim. Watson is also charged with robbery and assault for allegedly stealing the victim's phone and wallet. He is also currently on probation and prohibited from having a gun.
The defendant has an active arrest warrant from Washington for a misdemeanor domestic violence case.
Jonza Watson is being held on no bail and is due back in court on July 18th. Heather Hope, CBS 8.
A San Diego man is pleading not guilty in the shooting death of a teenager last month.
Right now, 22-year-old David Vereen is charged with first-degree murder and shooting at a dwelling. The shooting happened on June 25th. Detectives say 18-year-old Kevin Burton was leaving a college area party when Vereen fired into his car, hitting him. Burton was on life support until he died on Friday. Vereen is being held without bail and faces life in prison if convicted.
Right now, the medical examiner is trying to figure out if a bone someone found in a North County creek is from a human. Carlsbad police say someone reported finding what appears to be a jawbone at El Salto Falls today. That's near College Boulevard and Vista Way. Investigators from several agencies, including the Sheriff's Department, are now trying to get to the bottom of it all. They have not yet said if the bone could be related to any open cases.
We are now just days away from the San Diego Pride Parade, and after the recent mass shootings at an Illinois parade, some people are on edge.
That's why San Diego police officials say they are upping security. They plan to have an uniformed officer at every intersection, as well as plainclothes officers in the crowd. They're also working with state and federal law enforcement agencies and monitoring for threats online.
Well, obviously, anytime we have a large gathering, we're concerned that people are going to take advantage of the environment. And again, that's why we're going to be out there.
Police say they want people to come out and have a good time, but also stay vigilant and report anything suspicious.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been sentenced to 245 months, that's a little more than 20 years, in a federal prison for violating George Floyd's civil rights. The sentence was part of a plea deal. In entering the guilty plea, it was the first time Chauvin admitted he used excessive force when he knelt on Floyd's neck. Chauvin is already serving a 22.5-year sentence for his conviction on state murder and manslaughter charges at Minnesota's only maximum security prison. Chauvin's sentences will run concurrently, but because he's being transferred to a federal prison now, it will take longer for him to become eligible for parole.
Today, WNBA star Brittany Griner pleaded guilty inside a Russian courtroom to drug charges after cannabis oil was found in her luggage in February. She told the court she had no intention of breaking Russian law and was in a rush while packing and overlooked the cannabis cartridges. U.S. officials say the guilty plea will not affect the work underway to get her out of Russia.
It will have no impact on any of the negotiations. The president, the national security team, the State Department, the special envoy that I just spoke about, we're going to do everything that we can to bring home Brittany Griner safely.
Griner faces 10 years in Russian prison. She's due back in court later this month when she's suspected to officially testify. Meantime, U.S. Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal traveled to Kyiv today to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The visit served as a show of support for Ukraine as it fights against the Russian invasion. The senators told Zelenskyy they're trying to ramp up sanctions against Russia and brand the country a state sponsor of terrorism. Zelenskyy urged the senators to support his requests for modern air defense systems.
Plagued by scandal and dropped by his own party, embattled British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is stepping down. More than 40 ministers and aides loyal to Johnson quit within just the last day. He was accused of having parties during the COVID lockdown, as well as allegations of misconduct and abuse by conservative lawmakers. Johnson will remain prime minister until a successor is chosen. Critics say he should be removed as soon as possible.
Back here, July is, of course, a busy month for San Diego, with both San Diego Pride and Comic-Con happening. Mayor Todd Gloria says those events are critical to our economy.
They're expected to bring in hundreds of thousands of tourists who will stay in hotels, eat at our local restaurants, and shop at our local stores.
These are dollars that we use to address homelessness, to fix our roads, to fund our parks and our libraries, and just about every other city service that we provide that keeps the city running.
In 2021, overall, visitors spent more than $7 billion here in San Diego, which was lower than pre-pandemic levels. But there were 24 million visitors in 2021, which is 60% higher than in 2022. San Diego's Pride Parade is a week from this Saturday, and this year the law enforcement community will be allowed to march, 2 years after organizers banned uniformed officers from taking part in the event.
The decision comes following several meetings between the two groups. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has more on the controversy and the work done to move past it.
I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be just, turned up.
San Diego police officer Kiki Costin can't contain her excitement about this year's upcoming Pride Parade. It will be her first time taking part in the annual event, which hasn't been held in person since 2019. Not only that, but she and other law enforcement officers will be allowed to participate in uniform after being banned from doing so back in 2020.
I'm excited that I get to represent who I am. I'm a part of the LGBT community, and I'm a part of the San Diego Police Department, and being able to, mesh those two together and represent who I really am, it's an amazing feeling.
2 years ago, Pride organizers say uniformed officers could not take part in the Pride Parade, which due to the pandemic was held virtually until departments underwent major changes. The decision came amid a nationwide push for police reform in the wake of the in-custody death of George Floyd, and was made to hold law enforcement agencies accountable for bias in policing. Since then, members of Pride's Healing and Safer Communities Committee have continuously met with liaisons from local law enforcement agencies. Those conversations led to progress, with Pride reversing its decision, though still encouraging officers to wear specialized attire that is, quote, emblematic of the San Diego Pride event and helps show respect and appreciation to the LGBTQ community. San Diego Sheriff's Department Sergeant Michael Gonzalez, who served as a liaison, says it's a step in the right direction.
We will be in full uniform, which we're extremely excited about, because this is a second skin for us as somebody who's not just a member of the LGBT community, but also in law enforcement.
Gonzalez's colleague and fellow liaison Alex Miller agrees.
I think it's a better step for us this year to be able to be involved.
Moving forward, San Diego Under Sheriff Kelly Martinez says her department is committed to taking part in the Pride Parade every year, as it has historically done for decades.
I think we've built some bridges, and I hope so anyway. It's something that's important for us to participate and show this community that we care.
For now, though, the focus is on this year's parade, which is not only a chance for everyone to once again celebrate in person, but for some means so much more.
It makes me feel proud. That's what it's about, the pride.
For more information on this year's Pride festivities, visit our website, CBS8.com, and click on the Help button.
All right, Shannon, thank you. And we want to let you know we're inviting you to celebrate San Diego Pride Weekend. This theme this year is Justice with Joy.
We are giving away 3 pair of VIP tickets and 6 4-packs of general admission tickets to the San Diego Parade Pride Festival. You can enter online right now. Just visit cbs8.com/contests, and we hope to see you out there.